Missouri born and bred. This time around, these guys have been together about 10 years. Shortly after that, we had a chance to talk to them at Weights and Measures Sound Lab. That's many years ago. This time, they're in Studio A down the hallway with Sarah Bradshaw. Ha Ha Tonka live on the bridge.
All right, and welcome. Man, we are so excited this afternoon, joined by Ha Ha Tonka, our own Missouri band from West Plains. Well, some from West Plains. We're going to definitely claim you guys, though. And one of the things we don't need to usually do when you come to Kansas City, I'm assuming, is explain your name so much since you're from right here. So thanks, guys, for joining us in the studio. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
That's Brian talking. And Brian, if you want to introduce the whole band for us.
On guitar, we have Brett Anderson, who is from Kansas City, Missouri,
Yes.
born and raised in Lee's Summit. A Royals fan, sorry to say.
Woo. Oh,
We
Brian.
have a fellow Cardinals fan, Luke Long. Me and him were born and raised in West Plains. Back here we have James Clear, who hails from the UK, but grew up in Philadelphia. I'm giving everybody's backstory here.
That's great.
And then on the drums we have Mike Riley, Philadelphia native.
Awesome.
And eligible bachelor. That's the band, Ha Ha Tonka. We're happy to be here.
And we are happy to have you. So you've got a brand new album out, Heart-Shaped Mountain on Bloodshot. Came out in March. We absolutely love the tracks. We've played Race to the Bottom. We're playing everything right now. And, as artists are wont to do, you're going to continue to change your sound, right? But something I noticed with Heart-Shaped Mountain, not that I could ever call you guys angsty, because you're just two wonderful, happy people to be angsty, but there definitely has been a definite kind of rebirth kind of feeling about Heart-Shaped Mountain. So, what do you think about that? Can you tell us a little bit about why you think that is, or if you agree?
Oh, that's an interesting take on it. I don't think I think that there's some validity to it. I think that there was a bit of a rebirth for the band. Our original drummer, Lennon, who is also a KC native.
Who we love. Hey, Lennon.
He stopped touring with us in 2014, and that's when Mike started playing with us.
Awesome.
And James had joined up in 2013. So Heart-Shaped Mountain was actually the first album that we all wrote together.
Right.
So I think that added a different energy, or a new energy, to the songwriting, and the songs came out probably sounding a little different. But we're definitely pleased with the progression and feel like it's an extension of kind of the work that we've done up to date. And we're excited about it.
Well, it really is a beautiful album, just from start to finish. Every single song could be played on the radio, man. And I understand that you have some exciting news. Is that correct? Do you want to talk about that?
We do. This is breaking news. We just found out, or actually found out a little bit ago, but we couldn't announce it. We're going to be making our late-night television debut on Conan O'Brien.
That's so awesome.
On June 22nd, which we're very excited about.
Congratulations.
It would be a fellow redhead that would give us our big break. So me and James have a special bond with Conan, so we're excited about that.
That is very cool, man. Again, congratulations, you guys. We look forward to that. June 22nd?
That's Thursday, June 22nd.
So
correct.
set your DVR. Okay. So the other thing, the addition of Mike and James. Now, you guys hail from other projects, so Hoots and Hellmouth and the Spring Standards. Is that correct, guys?
Sure, that's correct.
So can you talk a little bit about the evolution? Because it has been that change in lineup. So how did that come about?
Well, let's see. James played with us, or we've known these guys, James and Mike, for a decade at least, I would say, because we toured with both bands, Hoots and Hellmouth and Spring Standards. James played with us on Lessons, our last album, and whenever Lennon decided he wanted to stop touring, James was like, I know who needs to be the drummer. It needs to be Mike Riley. Like, said it that night. And Mike was on a camping trip and was unreachable for days. But when he finally did emerge from the wilderness, he's like, yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Well, and then James, on Facebook it says that you play everything? Who plays a mouth harp on this album? That's what I want to know.
That's not me. That would be
That'd be this guy over here.
Luke Long right there.
Way to go, Luke.
Thanks.
That was awesome.
Takes more than talent to play that thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Take what you will out of that.
No comment, Luke. All right. Can we get some music from you guys?
Please, yes.
Awesome.
We're not known for our banter, ladies and gentlemen. Everything you thought it would be, everything you thought it would be. A picture of the past and the future that you see. Is it everything you thought it would be? Like a fireworks show on the 4th of July, a sunset in the California sky, and meeting your daughter for the very first time. Everything that's happened in your life, I hope it was. Everything you thought it would be, everything you thought it would be. A picture of the past and the future that you see. Is it everything you thought it would be? Like the summer when you told me that we'd never get old. Campfire smoke when you started getting cold. You were falling in love for the very last time. Everything that's happened in your life, I hope it was. Everything you thought it would be, holding on to you, you were holding on to me. A picture of the past and the future that you see. Is it everything you thought it would be?
So you guys recently released a video for that song in particular, which again, I'm going to go back to the fact that we are in Missouri. And so I just want to know about that process. How did you come up with the idea for the video, which happened to be a float trip? And what was that process like?
Well, it started at Hirsch Feed and Farm Supply in West Plains.
Okay, so right here in
was
Missouri.
Getting some feed with my pops, and a fella came up and he was like, I know this dude who he's got a raft and he puts PL on it and he just floats guys down the river. I was like, that sounds like a video. Yeah, sure enough, we just all flew in and hooked it up and
We rented a drone.
rented a drone, yes, and had some people come up from Arkansas to shoot it, and yeah, it was a blast. Had a keg of Budweiser and just took on down the river.
It was for ballast weight, the keg. Is to,
Yeah,
It was needed, apparently.
So which river was it?
it was the Spring River in southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, just
right.
outside of Mammoth Springs, Arkansas.
Well, so you guys, again, many of you from West Plains and from different areas, but you guys have kind of spread out now. Is that correct? Like, where do you call home? Do you even call home? Because, Brian, I know you're on the road a lot.
Well, yeah, we've been spread out for years. I
Yeah.
mean, we've always been fortunate as a band to have time away from the road and kind of go our separate ways, and then that makes it all the more special whenever we come back together to tour. And with technology, you can share ideas, and you can literally write a song on your phone now and share that with people and work on demos. So it's been a lot easier being spread out than it would have been maybe 10 or 15 years ago.
Right.
But yeah, we are kind of all spread out.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with the songwriting process. Then is it all just through email? Like, how does that work for you guys? I mean, do you have sessions where it's like twice a year we're going to get together? I mean, obviously right now you're on the road, but I mean, in regard to that songwriting process, being spread out like that.
Usually it's been like we have a few ideas that have been circulated around and people have, added to them or worked on them a little bit, and then we do get together and demo out the songs.
Right.
And then we'll go into the studio with a pretty good idea of where we want it to go.
Well, and speaking of that then, so you guys, this time around, you went back to Sawhorse Studios in St. Louis for this album, right? And so how did the recording process change from, I mean, again, you've had a new lineup. Things have definitely changed. And you said you had that rebirth, but what was that like in the studio?
Well, at first it was a disaster because
Yes, let's hear about
we
this.
recorded most of the record, actually all of the record, and then we went home to take a break because we were going to go back up and just finish up some vocals and things, and we got an email saying that the whole thing got deleted, which doesn't happen, by the way, in the music industry. This is like
Not anymore, yeah.
Yeah, it should never happen, but it did. It happened to us, and we were, of course, very distraught about that. And but in hindsight, it ended up being a great thing because we went back in and we got to rework the songs in a different way sometimes, and we made them better. So we got to basically record the same record twice, which and the second time was for free. So,
Which I've heard a lot of bands say that. Like after you get done recording a record, then they wish they could go back in and make the record again because they know like the mistakes they made or like what they would like to improve. So I think, and I'll give credit to everybody here and Jason McIntyre at Sawhorse Studios. Everybody went back in after that disaster and said like, this is our opportunity to do just that. Right. And I think that was the right attitude to have and made it a positive, like because it could have been a very, it was a very hard Christmas because had been working in the studio and then we were asked by family members, "How's the record going?" Well, we got a story to tell, but it wound up being a positive, as Brett said, and I think that's everybody here and Jason in St. Louis are. Because of that, like everybody did a really, really amazing thing to pull it together and really make the album into what it became.
Well, and you guys have done a lot of work with Jason in the past, right? I mean, this
he's a
wasn't-
bro, yeah.
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 So there is that.
And he hates it every time we have to tell the story.
Oh, that poor guy. I didn't bring it up this time, I'm just saying. So in addition to that, though, the album art in relation to Heart-Shaped Mountain, and I've seen you talk about this in other interviews, but you had a friend was it Nashville?
Yes.
Who did the album art for this?
Saul Gray Hildenbrand, who is a phenomenal artist. I don't know if the audience has seen our album cover, but it has matchsticks all over it, and my guitar has matchsticks all over it too. He inherited a bunch of matchsticks from his father-in-law who died, and he'd collected matchsticks his entire life and gave them to Saul, and Saul has been making artwork installations, gigantic artwork installations, like the size of that wall back there, out of matchsticks. And it's really phenomenal work. Look him up online. He does installations all over the country, but he's based out of Nashville, and he's a really good friend of mine that I've known. We met each other in California, and we're neighbors for about 6 or 7 years. He's an amazing artist, a mediocre poker player, but an all-around great guy.
Well, okay, but you guys beat Anthony Bourdain, and Anthony Bourdain seems to me to be like he would be a phenomenal poker player. So if you beat Anthony Bourdain, then I'm going to say that it's not fair that you call him mediocre.
Actually, I don't want to call out Anthony Bourdain because he kind of has helped us a lot with, by putting us on his program, but also a mediocre poker player.
Oh, they were wrong. You know what? The
Incredibly
interviewers got
tall,
it totally
though.
wrong.
He's an incredibly tall gentleman. I was struck by that.
Awesome. And for those of you who don't know, what was that? That was like 2011 or something when you guys were on No Reservations, which that was a great episode, by the way. So if you guys want to check that out if you're listening.
I want to say thank you again to Mr. Bourdain
Yes.
for having us on. And there hasn't been a show that we've played since
that was totally my
episode
bad.
aired.
I misread the interview.
No.
He was a great poker player.
This is the compliment. There hasn't been a show we've played since that episode aired that somebody hasn't come up to us and said, "Hey, I saw you guys on Anthony Bourdain." And
That's
how I know
awesome.
about your band. So it's
That's
great.
fantastic, man. All right, well, we'd love to hear another song from you. Thanks so much.
can you choose? This one or that one? Oh, you're a natural, you can't lose. One more shot for my courage, and two for my pride. Three shots stand empty, I feel alive tonight. Race to the bottom, race to the bottom, race to the bottom again. It's just a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom again. You go down, so many voices are singing, they're calling me out. I question the choir, could never rely on them anyhow. Like this drink I've been aging, I'm holding my breath, thinking the thoughts that lead to the thoughts of somebody else. Race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom again. It's just a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom again. You go down. You going down, 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 down. You going down. You going down, 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 down. It's just a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom again. It's just a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom again. It's just a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom, a race to the bottom again.
Again, so if you're not familiar with Heart Shaped Mountain, it just came out in March. It's just a beautiful album again from start to finish. And I've been somewhat flipped during this interview, but can I just tell you, we love your music here, you guys. The intensity and the musicianship, that artistry that you bring forward. And I think it just, every album, you just keep bringing it in a new way. So Land Beyond, beautiful track on the new album. A little bit different than that kind of classic, that ha-ha sound. Can you tell us about that? What is the story behind Land Beyond?
Well, if I can brag on one of our band members, James Clear happens to be the best piano player I've ever seen play.
Awesome.
He's played since he was 3 years old. That's why we didn't let him bring a piano in here. We didn't want him to show us up. But, on the album...
On the radio, yeah.
On the album, there's this track called Land Beyond that's a rollicking piano bit, and James had that, and we were kind of playing around with it in the studio, and the lyric on top of that is an old gospel song called Beyond This Land of Parting, and we were just kind of messing around with it, and it became that song in the space of about 2 or 3 hours. Like, it really just all came together really, really quick.
Things got psychedelic really quick on that song. Somehow it just got really crazy sounding. But
There was some foreign substances involved.
No.
We
I just
we
thought
had
the
a-
music took you to
we had a great
transcendence, and it was
oh,
just...
it was transcendent.
Is that something, do you all, are you influenced by that traditional music? Do you find yourself often going toward old gospels and things like that when you're collaborating?
From time to time, we had an old gospel song as actually an old folk song on our first record called Hangman. So that's in our background. So I don't know that we like seek it out. It just sometimes happens, and then we kind of like the result, and then we kind of run with it.
Well, for those who aren't familiar, can you tell us a little bit about that background?
Well, like I said, me and Luke grew up in West Plains, Missouri, which is in the heart of the Ozarks. And I grew up going to the Church of Christ, which doesn't allow instrumentation.
Right.
That's a sin. I'm going to go ahead and say this on the radio because my mom might hear this, but it's the worst sin I've committed is playing an instrument. We don't cross ourselves. I don't know why I did that. So anyway, like growing up in that environment, my family all sang, and we would like sing. Like it sounds a little hokey to say, but like we would like do harmonies and sing, and I think that that's been a big part of this band. Is like everybody in the band enjoys singing, and we enjoy doing harmonies, and it adds, it's fun for us. I think it's fun for the audience, and yeah, it just kind of comes out that way. I don't know that we try to do it or like, oh, we want to tap into our roots here and do this. It just happens.
That's part of who you are. Well, man, we love it, and thank you. We can't thank you enough for coming into the studio again. I'm going to keep it serious here one more time. Luke, I really need to know where I can get a jean short Speedo. I'm asking for a friend.
Shinesty.com. They make just a delicious jean printed Speedo for men.
Not the right adjective.
Delicious.
Maybe it is.
I mean, it's tasty to me. Good for the goose.
Wait, I want to dig a little deeper. How do you know the taste of the jean short Speedo?
Oh, now we are on the radio,
after
gentlemen.
A thorough washing, I did. No, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, give them the full story. I mean, this is a great
I
story.
do want to hear this story.
What? Oh, we going up to the pool bar? Which one?
Luke is obviously, the studio audience can see this, and I mean, he looks great on radio too, but in person, very attractive young man, relatively young.
Thanks, babe.
And he ordered this jean short Speedo, which it looks like jean shorts, but it's a Speedo. It's got the tag on the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the pockets, like the zipper.
It has a zipper?
It's crazy.
That's amazing.
So he donned them in Las Vegas. We had a day off. We were on tour this spring with the old 97s.
Maiden voyage on the Speedo.
And we were at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino. Highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Picture this.
Highly recommend. Smash Mouth with it.
Smash Mouth was doing a live set
I can't
by
say
the
it.
pool bar. They weren't, but I'm sure they will at some point.
I was laughing at my own joke before I even said it. Yeah. So anyway, we're at the pool bar. Luke busts out the Speedo. We take a couple pics for our social media, and the manager comes over. I'm like, oh man, what's this guy gonna say? And he walks up to Luke and he's like, can we take some pictures, because we'd like to post this on all of our sites, and we'll get you some drinks and blah blah blah.
No problem.
No problem. Other people started coming up to take pictures with Luke, and I mean, Luke had the idea and said, like, I would come out of Vegas up if I didn't gamble and just walked around in this Speedo and charge people a minimal fee
A buck maybe.
to take a picture.
Well, that's
Instead, we gambled and lost a bunch of money.
You gave it away for a round of drinks, Luke.
Yeah, well, I'm cheap.
You can check it out. Haha, Tonka Instagram. Definitely worth looking up. Can we get one more song from you guys?
Yes. Take flight on terrible wings. This over unspeakable things. Canyons carved out by rivers of
of tears. Mountains rise up to the height of my fears. Up to the height of my fears. I see it all way up here. If I slide somehow from the height of my fears, moment that it all seemed crystal clear. I know my head is such a horrible place. Nightmares and what it's taken up space. I can't seem to believe that you won't disappear. My thoughts rise up to the height of my fears. Up to the height of my fears. I see it all from way up here. If I start to fall from the height of my fears, moment that it all seemed crystal clear. The height of my fears, I'm losing you. Are you letting me go? I see it all from way up here. If I start to fall from the height of my fears, moment that it's all you disappear. Moment when it all seemed crystal clear.
Man, again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to come in this afternoon.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for playing our music. This is an amazing radio station. This
Thank
does
you.
not happen in every city in the United States. We can attest to that. So we cannot say thanks enough. It means a lot to a band like us that's our size that do this for almost a living. So it really means a lot. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Sarah.
again.
Cheers.
Ha ha Tonka on the bridge.